What's up, guys? Matt here, coming at you with a quick look at the brand new Atlas 110 from RocHobby. This is basically just a new body offering on the Michigan chassis, axles, shocks, motor, ESC. Everything is shared with the Michigan. So we'll take a quick look here at the Atlas and the Michigan side by side. You can see these things share everything down to skid plate, links, drive shafts, axles, steering links, all the way down to the servo, and the horn there that I broke first run out with the Michigan. And no, I haven't fixed that yet. Just too much going on. I was going to upgrade the servo in it and just haven't had time. You can see it looks like I got a little leakage from the transmission there. Maybe something I'll have to check on, but everything's pretty beefy on these, so I expect it to hold up pretty well. I put the Michigan through some pretty rough running, and the only issue I had was that servo horn, so I felt like just switching out maybe to a little stronger servo and definitely a better servo horn. And this does come with the nice carrying case like we see with a lot of the FMS trucks. It has the latches on the front, the nice handle on top. You get a few little extras in the bag there, and then the transmitter tucks away nice and neat in the bottom. So if you wanted to take this thing with you, pack it around, very nice and easy to store the truck in this case and just pack it around wherever you're going, take it on vacation, whatever. So pretty nice transmitter, got a good feel to it. It's 4-channel. You can see it's got all of your steering, throttle, trims and everything, channel 3 and 4 switches there on the right by your thumb. I don't think they do anything on this truck because it's not a 2-speed or anything like that, but we will get to that later. But a very nice case there. And then here are a few of the extras. You get the spare tire and the mount for the spare tire as well in the packaging. And then a couple extra little fire extinguishers you can mount onto the rack on the back. So that's really nice. They give us a couple extra scale accessories as well. And also a wheel wrench, just so anybody who's brand new to the 10th scale, you're not stuck with loose wheels, right? So, and then we get the sticker pack. I'm going to leave the stickers off, I think. I like just the plain look, but you also get a nice manual that has an exploded view with parts breakdown. So if you're new to 10th scale or just new to the hobby period, you break a part, you don't know what it's called, you can look it up right here, get the part number, and find what you need. So you can see this body looks amazing, and I'm pretty impressed with how well they made the new look fit the chassis that they already had. And then the little bits of extra detail they give us. The stacks look amazing. You've got the diamond plate on the bed. They could have easily just left that bed black, but they gave us a little extra touch that really makes the bed pop. You've got actual door handles, mirrors, snorkel, wipers. The headlights look great in the chrome. You can see the front bumper sticks out a little far, which may hurt our approach angle, but it gives us room to mount a winch on there if we decide to do that. And with the stock transmitter having 4 channels, I think we can probably even put it on the stock transmitter. So that's really cool. And I like the fact that this thing shares parts with the Michigan. It makes it much easier when you go out crawling. For somebody like me who has both, you can take one set of spare parts, and if you break, fix either truck. So one of my main concerns is this latching system for the body. You can see it just has these tabs, one on each side, that catch on the body and click into place. If that breaks or wears out, gets loose, that could be an issue. We may have to find another way to fasten the body down. I probably would have rather just seen like an old style pin system here, because in my experience, these little click in place type mechanisms usually wear out or break. One thing I don't really understand with the 10th scale trucks is they don't give us any sort of battery strap. It has a tray here, and yeah, it technically, if you have the perfect battery, it should stay in there. You know, it fit in the slot, and then the cab, I guess, hold it in there. But if you're like me and you're just going to run like a small pack like this, I mean, for one, it don't really fit, but there is no strap at all. Just including something like this, where it already has the slits for it, would be nice. Luckily, I have a bunch of these around, so I'm going to throw this one on so I can use this 3S pack. All right, so now that we're powered on, I can see that these don't do anything. They don't control the lights at all. I looked in the manual, there is nothing about controlling the lights. The lights out of the box are plugged into the channel 3 switch here, which does nothing. If you plug them into the channel 4, it still does nothing. But I'm going to show you guys an easy way to fix that. These little switches are about 10 to 12 bucks, I don't know, on Amazon. I'll link it in the description. All you do is plug this in line with the lights. So you're going to unplug your lights, plug this in just like that, and then plug this into your channel 4, basically is what you're going to probably want it on. And real quick, now you'll see channel 4 works your lights. So that's an easy fix. Would have been nice if that was controlled out of the box, but pretty easy to take care of. So you'll see the stock servo is a little slow, but it's pretty decent for a stock servo. That's something I normally upgrade right away. You can get something like this thing for probably 30 bucks, 35 maybe, and have way more power. Slow crawl is okay. I mean, it will get by. That whine is pretty annoying. I would like to see them start putting maybe the Hobby Wing 1080 in these. I feel like people would pay, you know, 20, 30 bucks more to have that ESC in there, which is a really good brushed ESC, or something like the ISDT, something along those lines. So that's pretty much it. Let's go crawl this thing. Okay, I swear this is it. One other thing you may want to do out of the box. If you look, this has a crawler mode and a boat mode. It is in crawler mode. The little tab is to the left, right? Just like this. But down here, if you're running a LiPo, which almost everybody is going to, you may want to switch this, because mine out of the box was in the nickel metal slot. So you can see it's to the right, this little plug. You're just going to move it to the left. So what that does is it lets this ESC know this is a LiPo and not to run it too dead, basically. If you leave it on that NIMH setting right there and run a LiPo in it, a lot of times, you know, a nickel metal battery, you'll run it till it's just dead, right? So it'll do that to your LiPo, and then you may not be able to get it back charged. So that's kind of crucial for anybody that doesn't know. Make sure and switch that over. So I did have to turn the volume down on these running clips just because it was so nasty windy out. And me being me, always prepared and ready to roll, kind of throwing this together super quick to go get some running. I didn't bring like a dead cat or anything for the camera, so the audio turned out pretty bad, but you can still hear the whining of the ESC. It's not that annoying in person, honestly, and I'm one of those that runs like outrunner motors and listens to that whine, so it's not that big a deal to me. The only issue I had every now and then is the reverse there, you can see, is really pretty touchy. You have to be very, very light on your reverse, and it still just kind of wants to really jump backwards sometimes. So, you know, as you advance in crawling with this thing, definitely an upgrade on the ESC would be useful for sure, but you can definitely get by with the stock one. At times I felt like I really liked how it controlled, but then sometimes it was almost like it was unpredictable. It would be doing really good, and then I would just touch it and I would just launch backwards or forwards or whatever. So it's a little more kind of start stop, not a great slow crawl, but it's decent for a stock system. So I feel like this truck is a great entry level for sure. Anybody that's wanting to get into 10th scale, you know, this thing comes in at 250 bucks, and you'll see some of the lines it does here I was pretty impressed with. And coming in at the 250 mark, there's plenty of room to pick up a couple batteries, a charger, some upgrades, and that sort of thing before you even get into the price range of something like the Axial Base Camp at $389. So I feel like this truck has a lot to offer, especially for somebody new to 10th scale or the hobby, period. Plus, it offers a really nice scale looking truck to me. The main place it struggles, you'll see over and over, is side hill. The front bumper, you can see there, I was trying to angle into that because the front bumper, if you go directly straight into stuff, it hits and limits you. So you kind of have to angle into it, but this thing does not like side hill at all. So I definitely think I'll add some weight down low to this thing, maybe some heavier hubs, maybe even like some wider hubs to widen it just a little bit. That will help also. And then some suspension tuning will definitely help as well. It seemed a little stiff. It's like just once you raised one side, you were just looping out. So you definitely kind of have to pick your lines wisely. But once you get the front end up onto stuff like here, it does pretty good going straight up and straight down. Here I was able to kind of use that the rails on the side as like sliders, and it helped me get up this eventually. But you know, I'm a little more straight up than I was initially trying to start on that. So you just kind of gotta put it in the right place and it will go. These tires did pretty well out here. Now this stuff is fairly grippy. Like you can tell a difference in tires, but almost any tire does okay out here. And I felt like these were kind of along they were okay. You know, they're a little firm. If you took these wheels apart, cut the foams a little bit, maybe soften them up, that would probably help. But in my opinion, I would just go with a different tire. A little softer would definitely help out, and some dual stage foams would make a huge difference. So you can see here, they really just don't give any at all. So in the end, it just wasn't able to get it done. But you know, these tires are okay. They're decent. And you got to look at the big picture here. This truck costs $250. A lot of times I spend $400, $500, $600 on an RTR, and the stock tires are terrible. The stock servo is terrible. So at $250, there's a lot of room to add upgrades to this thing, make it much better, and still be down around the price of a normal 110 RTR. So I think they did really good with the price, and I like the look of it. I think it looks really good. So I think that's going to be one thing that brings people into it, especially if you're somebody new. A lot of times, you know, if you're getting a cheap RTR, they're not going to look like much, right? And this is a cheap RTR, and it looks great. You go adding just a few more scale accessories to this, it's going to look great. So it's not an LCG, go out, point, climb, it's going to do everything. But for more of a scale looking crawler, like, it's pretty good. Now, obviously, if you're a builder or you're just setting out to build an LCG truck, you may not go this route. There's so much aftermarket based on the axials and the elements and those sort of trucks. And there's a lot of great ways to start. I'm not trying to say this is the only way I would go, but I came away from this thinking, man, this thing's well worth $250. You know, if you want to get this and put $150 in it with a servo, some wheels and tires and stuff like that, it's definitely worth looking at. And that's me spending my own $250 on this and coming away thinking it's well worth it. You know, sometimes I get sent these trucks, and I always try to keep in mind, like, if that came out of my pocket, would I really want this or enjoy this? And it's hard if you get one of these trucks for free, then you're all excited about it, you know. It's like, oh, check this out, look what I got, and I can go run for, you know, it didn't cost me a dime, obviously. And I'm not gonna like tell these companies, no, don't send me that, because it allows me to double up my content for you guys. If they send me this, I can buy that, and then I can do a review on both, you know. But I also kind of enjoy putting my own money into these, because it really makes me know how I feel about the truck, you know. And I know in my mind that there's no chance I'm construed by the fact that I got this sent to me. And so I did purchase this truck, and I came away looking at it as it's well worth the $250, and something that I would recommend for anybody, really. I keep saying especially for somebody new to the hobby or new to 10 scale, because I feel like it is kind of a beginner 10th scale rig. But it really, for anybody who's just wanting to grab an RTR, it looks really good. And it's pretty solid. You know, this thing is beefy. It's much better than, you know, like I love the Everest 10 and the Ridge Rock. Those things are really good starter trucks. You know, if you got a kid looking to jump into 10 scale, those are really good as well. But they look terrible, for one, and they're not near as durable. Everything on this is so much beefier than those things. And so I just feel like this will hold up better in the long run, and it looks so much better out of the box. So it's definitely worth considering is what I'm trying to say. It's not for everybody, and it's probably not for a lot of people who are hardcore into 10th scale, you know. But for $250, this is one like I'm not going to just unload it after I kind of review it. You know, a lot of times I can't keep everything. So a lot of times I'll run something a few times and check it out and then just sell it because it's just sitting around and I'm not using it. I think I'll get out again with this one. Liam loved the look of it, so he'll probably steal it. Just a little bit of work. You can see there again, the side hill is not good with this thing, but lots of other good points to it. And I didn't break anything. I rode it several times. I actually dropped off this little ledge here once, and nothing broke. You know, normally a day of running with me on any kind of truck that has scale touches like headlights, snorkels, mirrors, and something is broke. And so far, nothing broke on this. The body only came loose the one time that you've seen earlier, and that's something that eventually I'm afraid may wear out and start happening more. But for now, it was fine. Did fine all day, just the one instance. And maybe we could just add like some magnets or something somewhere down around there to kind of help reinforce that, and that would be better. So the springs on this seem a little stiff. The shocks are kind of short, and you know, I run short shocks a lot on 10 scale with certain setups, but I don't know. I think I would like a little more travel out of this one. You can see here, it just, any kind of side hill, it just doesn't want to do it. It seems like the springs are way too stiff. It's just not moving well. The whole truck wants to tip. So I was trying to start up this from the ledge here, and really couldn't get where I wanted to be between the front bumper hitting and then the suspension not really letting me get where I want to be. But once I hit this straight on, I was able to go right up it. So this is another spot. It takes a little fall here. I wasn't too hard on this thing today, but you know, I will be harder and harder on it. I just kind of wanted to enjoy the nice look of the body for a little bit before I kind of go and destroy it. But you can see there, decent little hit. But once I squared up to this, I was kind of able to get it to go where I wanted, and it made it up this. And I was really kind of surprised that it did make this. You know, there's a decent amount of weight up high on this thing. This body is not a hard body. It's just kind of a harder, it's polycarbonate. So it seems a little harder, and with all of the trim accessories and stuff, it's a little heavy. This right here, I really didn't think it was going to do this, and I just thought, well, I'm going to try it, you know. And then once I hit it and got a little bounce like right there, I thought, hey, this thing can actually make it up this. So very surprised it did that. That was basically full throttle on it on 3S. All of this running I ran on 3S. It doesn't have a ton of punch or ton of wheel speed to it, but it got it done. So I was pretty happy with the overall performance of the gearing and the motor and everything. So like I said, I did all of my running on 3S. I'll link in the description some good 3S batteries that I use, because I've had very good luck out of these batteries. And, you know, that's something you're going to need with this. It is RTR, but you're going to need a battery and good charger. That's just what RTR is nowadays. But like I said, it is just a polycarbonate body, with the nylon roll cage, they say. It is 4-link suspension. It's full ball bearings, 35 turn 550 motor. Lots of nice stuff with this one. I mean, you got 3 different colors as well. So, I was wanting the blue one. I had originally talked to FMS, and they were going to send me a blue one. And just some stuff kind of fell through there, some changes going on and stuff. And so I wasn't sure I was going to pick this one up just because I thought, well, do I really need another 10th scale? But I've been enjoying running my 10 scales here lately, and I wanted to start showing more on the channel. So I went ahead and bought this one, and I just bought the orange because I thought, well, I'm going to go orange, and maybe I'll get lucky and they'll send me a blue later. But I'm really enjoying this one. Like I said, it's definitely a great beginner truck. I mean, there's lots of cheap, I guess you'd say like knockoff RCs out there on Amazon and stuff. I've seen a few $200, $250 crawlers that are like some oddball name I've never heard of really. But the problem with those is it gets hard to find parts and stuff. And this is RocHobby, but it's basically FMS. And so there's definitely going to be parts for it. Fair RC already has all of the parts you need for it. And like I said earlier, it shares all the parts with the Michigan as well. So that's pretty nice. So in the end, I'm happy I picked this one up. Hopefully it provided you guys with a good bit of info on this thing and a little bit of running. I will definitely try to get out with it more. I've got a couple buddies that's wanting to try out crawling, so maybe I'll fix the mash again and let one run it, one run this. And they're pretty even as far as performance goes and stuff. So that would be fun to get out and do. You see here a couple more falls that it took. Didn't take a ton of falls. I was kind of easy on it, but I ran it. I did what I wanted with it for the day. A little bit limited on time, so that played into it. But overall, I think this is a great little RTR for the money. So you guys let me know what you think about this one. Lots of stuff coming up. I am trying my hardest to work on a new tire video for the large tires, comparing several sets of the bigger 1.0s for the FCX24s and stuff. So I will definitely, hopefully, be getting to that very soon. And then just lots of other stuff, new builds and everything coming. So tons of content coming up. I appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell. I appreciate everybody. Peace.